Any questions on the flow, or does anybody want to change anything up from what they heard?
It flowed really well last year. I mean, I thought that was actually one of the highlights of the whole thing was the way I loved it. Like it flowed.
I really just love people. I love parties, and I think that there's a huge gap in, especially with Halloween. So the Ghost Ball was an idea that I had from a Halloween party that I went to in college. And I loved it. It was very classy. It was an adult party. It had a really great feel to it, and I loved it. My vision was that it would be a party that people would want to come to. And oh, by the way, if it happened to just really benefit somebody, that would be amazing.
So Kyle had brought up this idea.
My husband and I started it, and we did everything ourselves. We funded it. We did all of the planning, the decorating, the inviting. Everything was us for the first couple of years. I quickly realized that people love the cause. Sponsors love the cause. And so if you're really going to make something grow, the Ghost Ball itself, it wasn't enough. I tried for 2 years. I put my heart and soul into this, and I failed. I really did. I felt like I failed.
And so I have no problem that's going to work out just fine. Now, with that,
out of the blue, I got a phone call from the executive director of Elevations, which was very new at the time. And I mean, it was almost immediate. We just clicked. I absolutely adored her right from the start. And we just began to just talk through all these things, like what we needed and what they needed, and we were exactly the match for each other, what each other needed. And it was just this perfect fit. I had totally written it off. We were done, it was behind us, and then within 5 minutes, I was like, no, this is it. This is the next chapter. It was just a great fit right from the start, and we have been with Elevations ever since.
Push hard. Oh! Well, I think our journey really started when he was
just a few months old, really.
Just a few months old.
By the time he was a year, it had become pretty clear that he was behind, both in motor skills, but also was just really not engaging with like his surroundings.
He couldn't sit up. He couldn't roll over. He didn't walk till he was well after 2. Pretty quickly realized that he was going to need to have all 3: physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy.
We did her physical therapy assessment at probably about 7 months and started therapy at like 8 months, and it became very clear very quickly that this was a pretty significant issue. Her speech wasn't where it should be, her motor milestones weren't where they should be, so we got referred to essentially everybody.
You gonna do dishes?
Hearing, speech, OT, we were already in PT, and then we got referred to genetics. And at 13 months, she got diagnosed with a deletion on chromosome 5. So I quit my job that day. And then we increased her therapy frequency and started looking for anything, like any activity that could be helpful.
So I think about 3 months old, Remy was diagnosed with chorioathetoid dystonia cerebral palsy. So she's always had therapy from 2 weeks old. Currently, she has therapy almost every single day. I think she has 1 day off. And between physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, MNRI therapy, feeding therapy, all of the therapy. So insurance doesn't cover a lot of stuff. We have to have special cups. We have to have special utensils. We have to have special toys. Every week we're finding new things that she might need that we have to purchase.
It's hot?
It very quickly becomes all-consuming. Very quickly becomes you live in your car, going from place to place to place to place to place. So we went from not paying a lot to paying a lot, again, minus my salary. Her insurance only covers 25 PT sessions. So her greatest need is PT. By the time we meet our deductible, we're out of PT sessions. So then PT is cash on top of, right, paying that deductible because we've run out of sessions. It's like paying for a year or 2 of college, except you don't have 18 years to save.
Okay, you're gonna wipe them off. Oh, that is so nice of you.
The impact that even one person has on these kiddos is incredible. I mean, the need is real, and these kiddos need it. And that will help them be so much more successful in life. And I just don't know that people realize that even the smallest contribution has such a huge impact.
We were struggling to cover the cost of these visits. Our therapist and our case coordinator presented this idea and said, hey, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's the Elevations grant. I think you would be a great fit for it. Go ahead and apply.
When everything else involved with this whole process is like bureaucracy and red tape and jump through this hoop and then we're going to tell you no. And then to have this process be reassuring, encouraging, it's like somebody gets it. Like there aren't all of these hoops and it's just like, we know you need this, we know this is valuable, let us help you.
It's so personalized. Like they know who we are, they know Remy and Remy's story or us, and they care.
I lost hope for what the future held for my child. What is his future gonna hold? What is this gonna look like? How do we help him have the best possible life for him? As I look around me and I'm seeing these other parents and caregivers that are experiencing that same stress and grief and worry, and it's always full. The waiting list is huge. There is such a need for what this service is giving. It's giving hope to these families. And knowing that that help is coming from our community, like there's putting a face to that need and knowing, like, I just want to give them all a hug. I just want to like go and like thank every single person and say, meet my son. He is the greatest. He is the most loving. He's optimistic. He never gets frustrated when we don't understand what he's saying. He just tries again and again. He's like the most cuddly, snuggly. I'm like, I just want to take him door to door and say, this is who you're helping. You are giving him a chance to have a life, to have a future. I just want to like wrap him in a big hug and say thank you. Thank you for helping our family.
Here we go. You made it.
I mean, just going, you are making a difference. When you donate, you're making a bigger difference. And when you tell your friends and your family, and they all come and they donate, your impact is huge. And I don't think people realize the difference that they can make.